Hello. Um, I am live and I've got a kind of ridiculous looking um setup here for my webcam because this thing is really big. It's so big it doesn't fit on my desk. Um, so this is this is the Year of Prophecy Collector's Edition. I took it out of the box that it came in. Um, and so like basically I took it out of the box and it was in some like plastic. But I took that off so that I could like actually get it onto my desk. But now I'm gonna unbox it. It is very large. It's like so big that it cannot fully fit on my desk. So I'm probably gonna struggle a little bit with this. Okay, so I've got this thingy off. Um, I don't know how well you can see that because I can't see my monitor. Um, but inside we've got this like box with the like expansion logo for the Edge of Fate. It's on this side. This is also the expansion logo for the Edge of Fate. And I'll show you what the cover thing looks like. This has got like a picture of the like little statue that comes in it. This is the logo for the Edge of Fate. This, I believe, is the logo for Renegades. So, yeah, the box is gigantic, and thank you for um the hellos and welcome wishes chat. So I've got a pair of scissors somewhere right here in case I need them, but hopefully I don't. So I'm opening a flap here. I don't know if you can see this. It's very difficult for me to know what is exactly on camera because this thing is so large it blocks the monitor that I can see my camera on. um okay. So I've opened the top of this thing. I don't think the webcam can see it. This is what it looks like. Hopefully you should be able to see that. Um so it looks like we've got a little like decal of oh, I think this is instructions for like setting it up. So I'm gonna set this to the side and this I think is the like lore folder. And then I've got some styrofoam on the top. So I'm gonna have to stand up to get this out of the box. Come on. I hit the tripod that my webcam is on. Okay, so I've got this giant styrofoam brick thing. The giant styrofoam brick. It's out of the box. So it's got tape on the different sides. So I think I might need my scissors for this. Nope, wait, I can just rip it. Oh, I guess that did not rip super great. But I got some of it off on one of the sides. Um, for you. Okay, the tape is off. So I'm gonna take the top off and chuck this styrofoam away. And this is if anyone wants to eat this, you can. eforme does not endorse eating silica gel, but it says do not eat. But I'm not gonna stop you. I'm not responsible for any injuries or deaths as a result of eating the silica. Okay, so the first piece, it's the warlock. It's got like a sword. I'm gonna set that aside. Second piece is, I believe this is a wing of the warlock. Yeah, it looks like a wing. Another wing. What is this? It's like a pole, like a spear or something. Once I get everything out, I'm gonna look at the instructions for assembly again. So I think this is the Titan. Titan's got some like reverse high heels on where the heel is underneath the toes. Oh, the Warlock does too. I didn't even notice that. The the reverse high heels so it can sit on the mount. This is the Hunter, again with the reverse high heels. What is this? Oh, I see. This is a little compassy looking thing. Um, that goes with the what is it, the DEO or something like that that Lodi is from. Or it's I keep wanting to say Lodi, but it's Lodi. I keep need to correct my brain on that one. This is the base. These are like surprisingly heavy. They're like they've got some weight to it. Okay, I think that's everything. Yeah, that's everything. There's just some more silica gel that we don't need, but the base has it's got the classes Hunter, Titan, Warlock, and it says Strike True Weapon. And then this side says Make Known Your Value, which is um I remember the emissary kept saying that in Rite of the Nine. Make known your value so that divided gods may wield you in time. Okay, so now I'm gonna get the instructions so I can assemble this thing. Okay, step one, I've got the base. That's literally step one is just set the base on the table. Step two is warlock. So I gotta rescue the warlock from underneath the other pieces. And it goes here. How does the warlocks are first in the world to get put on this statue because it's the best class? Um. Okay, then I gotta put the warlock's wings on, doing like a dragon cosplay or something. Oh jeez, how does this work? There's like holes in the back here. All right. So this is, I think it's in all the way. Yeah, the hole is just not very big. These wings are like gigantic. They're like gonna outshine the angle this one's at feels slightly wrong, but I think I got it. Okay, so what is my next step? My next step is the Titan. So this is confirmed. Bungie hates hunters because they made them last on this monument in the instructions. I obviously do not believe that. This is satire. Okay, so we've got the Titan with the Void Shields and the Void Axe here, and I believe this is the Dawnblade sword, like because it's got the wings. I think that's what it's supposed to represent. And then the next step is to put the hunter on. Oh, this hunter is like look at this hunter stance. It's like they're like doing the splits. Okay, so I gotta get this in. Okay, now our hunter friend, they're kind of hiding beneath the warlock's wings. Yeah, the Titan is cheating. And then the final step is to give the hunter the spear. So I think this is the arc super. How do I? How does this go in here? This thing's also got like little grippers on the bottom, which is why it's kind of hard for me to turn it. Is one of these small enough to go through? Destiny player tries to assemble something. Oh, I can't. My instructions, I was not looking at them correctly. This thing like splits in half apparently to fit in. So I just got to figure out where it breaks. But this thing is not very strong. So I don't want to like rip it apart. Oh, there we go. So see how it like split in half here? And then the long end goes in the back. Come on. There we go. The hunter spear is in the hunter hole. And the other side comes right out of the hand. So they've got their arc staff here. So we've got, I kind of like that they did void, arc, and solar, which I believe is the second class you unlock in Destiny 1 for each of the classes, like subclass wise. So this is what the finished thing looks like. With how high this camera angle is, it's kind of hard to see everything. So I'm gonna tilt it back so you can see it. So this is Hunter, Warlock, Titan. They are the fated weapon of the nine. Alright, so I'm going to set aside the instructions behind me, and then we can get into the other stuff. So this is like a compass. It's got the insignia of Lodi's people. Lodi. It's Lodi. I need to stop saying Lodi. Um it says Inventio Exploratorio or Inventio Exploratio Observ Observationis Connexus, which is Latin. I think that's like the phrase that Lodi says in the campaign. Um, but I do not speak Latin, so I don't know, and my keyboard is over here, so I'm not going to Google it. um, okay, so this is what I was really the most excited about, the the secret lore folder. Yeah, the Red War armor set is kind of a classic though, but it would have been cool if it had the statue had like the Kepler armor set. So I've unboxed this document folder. Um, it's also got the insignia here on it, just like this little like compass thing. I don't know what the purpose of this thing is. I think it's supposed to be a compass, but it's not really functional. Um, we can talk about the my raid predictions after we do the lore folder, but that is a good question. Cold water. All right. Ooh, these are like they're on like official letterhead. And this is like an old timey like document folder. So I'm gonna set the folder aside and we're gonna look at some lore. I was trying to avoid spoilers for this, but then people started putting information that's in here in their titles and thumbnails on YouTube. So I have been spoiled a little bit, unfortunately. I'll tell you what the spoiler that I saw is when we get to it and it becomes relevant. But otherwise, I'm gonna start reading this thing. Oh, there's a hinge in the middle part. Um, it does. Oh, here we go. Yes, you are correct. I didn't even realize this hinge opened. Um, so what does this say? It's got this little insignia that looks kind of like a bullet. I don't know. I'll show you up close. It says observe, connect, conceal, conform, comply, return, which is the things that Lodi says in the Edge of Fate campaign and also in one of the trailers. So this is like Lodi's secret mission. Oh, there's also a false bottom. Here it is. It's the DEO, the Department. Fine, camera. I believe in your ability to focus. The Department of External Observations, the DEO. So they like their secrets. They've got a secret bottom inside this secret compass. This thing is cool. I it doesn't really have like a practical purpose, but it does feel kind of like fun to open and close because it's weighty. It's made out of actual metal. At least it feels like it's metal. I don't know exactly what material it is. This thing is also very heavy. Although I don't have very much upper body strength. Okay, so we've got this letterhead. I am going to read it for you. Mr. Euro. Or wait, the letterhead, it's got the little logo from the compass, and it says the Department of External Observation, Chicago, Illinois, for internal use only. So I guess this explains the old Chicago stuff in the campaign. Um, for internal use only. And then the letter says, Mr. Euro, it is my great pleasure to formally welcome you to the Department of External Observations. I enjoyed our conversation after your presentation at the Linguistic Society of America last year, and I believe your expertise in analyzing and integrating novel languages will be of great use to our work here at the department. The world is changing around us every moment, but there is a great mysterious shape on the horizon whose shadow has only just begun to draw closer. I believe that with your help we will be well positioned to receive it. Welcome aboard, Mr. Euro. I look forward to what you will achieve. Sincerely, William Moffat, Director, Department of External Observations. So it seems like Lodi, which I think his name it was Louis Yarrow, um, he's gotten a letter upon joining the organization, the DEO, from the director. So that's kind of cool. And then this also like you could have in the campaign, you could have inferred this, but like Lodi's purpose for like making contact um with mysterious groups is linguistics, and he can speak a bunch of different languages, which is why he helps like translate for the Ionians. Okay. So the letterhead stays the same on this second page. Department of External Observations Cafeteria, Monday to Friday, 5 a.m. to 1 a.m. Saturday to Sunday, no service. Any personal items left in the refrigerators after closing on Friday will be thrown out. Please be mindful of your coworkers when using the microwave oven. Please do not store ET samples in the refrigerators. So I'm assuming that ET means extraterrestrial. It storing extraterrestrial samples in the refrigerator of the cafeteria is a wild move. I understand why that's against policy. So this looks to be like a directory for the DEO. It's got a bunch of departments. It says Department of External Observations Office Directory, AC Accounting 0814, BI Biology 5362, CH Chemistry 7158, CF Cafeteria 5063, CO Cosmof Cosmo Cos Cosmosophy. I don't know that word or how to say it. Cosmosophy. But it seems kind of like a combo of like cosmos, which is like space, and or like universe, and Sophie, which I think maybe is like part of philosophy. And the number for that is 3406. D is director 4618. That is our director, William Moffat. Presumably no relation to the Doctor Who Stephen Moffat guy. Um, DZ Dead Zone 2138. HR Human Resources 0841. LD Large Data 2840. MA Mathematics 3657. ML Mailroom 1092. MD Medical 3679. NS Neuroscience 8606. Yeah, Cosmo Cosmosophy sounds right. Cosmosophy. But I don't think it's a real word. Although it might be a real word. I'll have to look it up later. Um OP Operations 8041. P Primes 1111. I don't know what primes means. PG Pangeometry 2876, which this seems like a combination of geometry and pan, which usually means like all or everything. So I'm not sure what that department does. PR Procurement 6498. RE Reception 7384. RD Research and Development 8927. They're probably the ones who made Graviton Spike. SC Security 1256. SM Strange Matter. This one's in all caps. 9620. SU Signals Unknown 4932. So this is probably like a SETI department search for extraterrestrial intelligence where they're listening for like alien signals. TA Taxonomy 7805. TE Technology 7265. TS Technical Support 4878. And VI Visibility 2531. I don't know what the visibility department would do. Maybe they like give agents glasses if they need them or something. So this next page, Department of External Observations Parking. To enter the parking garage, you must have both a DEO identification card and a current parking permit. Please submit requests for permits to the Transportation Office. If your new hire paperwork has not yet been completed, you may request a letter from your supervisor confirming your employment, which must be submitted along with your permit. Green Line, Polosk to Adams/Wabash. I'm guessing this is like a bus line or a train line in Chicago, but I've never ridden any public transport in Chicago. I have been there, so I don't know if this is real or not. Also, this is seeming like it's a welcome packet of some kind because it starts with like a welcome letter, then you've got cafeteria, hours and rules, then you've got a directory, and now this is like how to get your parking validated. Ooh. So this is some kind of mysterious script. I have no idea what this says, but it doesn't look like any kind of like script or language I've seen before, so it's probably original. Euro. Are you responsible for the box on my desk? It has to be you. You're the only one here who knows. How did you even find them? What catalog includes them other than the embarrassing ones? Are they sold somewhere in the city? Do you hoard them like some kind of creep? It is driving me up the wall. No one knows about this stuff other than Ivy professors and irradiated physicists. Cough it up, Wisconsin. Nobody knows this brand of chalk but me. So Dr. Davis, we now know from the campaign this is Ikora Ray in her previous life. To Dr. Davis. A mystery. Impossible. How nobody knows that brand of chalk but you, despite you never shutting up about it. I have to stop for a monologue every time you hear me writing with the American-made stuff on my blackboard. Lewis. So this is like a correspondence between Euro, which is Lodi, and Dr. Davis, which is Ikora Ray. And they're talking about chalk. Apparently Ikora is very uppity and picky about her brand of chalk that she uses on the chalkboard in the office. Which I feel like is in character with Ikora. That seems like something Ikora would do. Euro. How can you hear me over the teeth-rattling scrape of your crummy chalk? Related. Did you keep some for yourself? Dr. Davis. Dear Dr. Davis, of course I did. 2 boxes. Every transcription is like shaking hands with an angel. You were right. It is magic. Lewis. Lewis, I'm always right. Dr. Davis. Yeah, it seems like Lodi might have had a thing for Dr. Davis, but I don't know. This just seems like office friends, like joking and kind of bonding over something as mundane as chalk to me. But I don't know, maybe there's some subtext. Um okay, so this has some like redacted portions. As redacted testifies, both imaging and physical examination of the brain revealed extensive disruption of the tissue. While this is expected of a gunshot wound, closer examination by our department revealed subtle patterns in the disruption. Redacted and redacted confer that the pattern is indicative of tissue being pulled towards the projectile as it passed through the skull, before it was pushed outward again. Thus, this unusual behavior, rest of the paragraph is redacted. Okay. Beginning of this next sentence is redacted. Moscow, redacted. Upon receiving the news, military authorities increased security measures. This was not unusual except in the case of a research facility redacted, which is still under stringent lockdown procedures. Redacted, following up on my last request, has been able to recover some documentation from the facility. Material to follow. Redacted blueprints suggest that Redacted have succeeded in containing material comparable to our own strange matter, but incident reports describing repeated explosive failures suggest that their weaponization programs have hit roadblocks. My analysis indicates they have taken a similar path of using electromagnetic fields to direct the discharge, but they have encountered many of the same issues we have. So this seems to be like spy stuff. Like they've got like a competing organization in Moscow that's trying to create similar weapons out of strange matter, which I think strange matter is supposed to be dark matter. Um, unless they're talking about specifically matter made exclusively of strange quarks, which is what a strangelet is. But that's one thing that kind of bothered me a little bit in the campaign. Um, as far as I'm aware, strangelets don't have very much to do with dark matter. Um, but I'm not a particle physicist, so I don't know. Okay, so this next page, it's also got redacted stuff. It is my personal assessment that at this time, blank redacted stability required redacted without causing enough disturbance to have been noted as part of the event. At the very least, we would expect to see redacted, which remains at detectable levels for at least 3 years post-failure. But our readings at Dealey Plaza indicate nothing out of the ordinary. The next few lines are redacted. After extensive review of the materials recovered from the redacted incident, I can find no conclusive link between the weaponry and energy sources present at the incident and the evidence from the scene of President Kennedy's assassination. Redacted does not mean no link exists, merely that the evidence does not support such a conclusion. So this is what got spoiled for me. I learned that there's something to do with President Kennedy's assassination, and some people were talking about Lodi and Graviton Lance, which it seems like unless there's more in here in future pages, not enough information to conclude something like that. But there seems to be some kind of incident at Dealey Plaza, which I don't know where that is. Um, but maybe I could guess that it's probably either in Chicago or Dallas. Um, because President Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas. The DEO is in Chicago, so unless it's somewhere else. Although Graviton Lands was, I think the lore tab does say that it's from Old Chicago. Oh, I did not catch that in the cutscene. I didn't notice that at all. Apparently, there were Graviton Lance blueprints, but that makes sense with the connection between the DEO being in Chicago and the lore about Old Chicago. So these next few pages are like handwritten notes. I can't tell if this is September 2nd or 7th because it's got this like line underneath it that's underlining it. I think it's September 7th. Bad dream. Feels important. I'm walking across the main floor lobby at the office. It's night. I can see Saturn out the window. Reach the elevator. Take it down. Nobody else is here. Something is wrong with my left leg. I look down, and it's suddenly made of cadmium. How do I know it's cadmium? I don't know what that is. I know. I think that says I know what. It's really hard to read this word. I know what. I'm going break room sublevel 3, 6 feet up. My entire family is in the break room and all of them are dead. I try to leave. Other legs keep slipping. I try to leave. Other leg keeps slipping down the stairs because now it is made of mercury. It spills everywhere. Have because now it is have to hop up the stairs. Remaining metal leg clangs. There's someone else in here. I think I know them, but I can't see them. Wake up, I'm fine. Thought there was someone in the room. Close the shades, so I can't see the sky. So this is like a bad dream that's like ominous, and I think the implication is that Six or Saturn, the member of the Nine, is manipulating this person and giving them dreams. Because the dream seems consistent um with like weird visions from the Nine. Yeah, so this is definitely September 7th because the next entry is September 8th. Somewhere I don't understand, everything looks like a Rothko. I can't speak, but in the dream I know I didn't have to. A Camille of strangers. They try to talk to me, but I don't understand them. Embarrassed. Apologetic. I think I'm supposed to do something, but I don't know what. They're all watching. They're talking to me, but I start to vanish. My torso is turning to carbon dioxide. How do I know? All of them are talking. They're so loud. I try to run, but my feet aren't touching the ground. My chest is half gone. I try to keep myself together, as I also try to run. Put it back. Need to be solid. Wake up freezing cold, naked in the kitchen, trying to shave myself in the icebox. To do, make appointment with doctor in the morning? What kind of doctor helps this? I think the answer with that is a therapist or maybe a psychiatrist because you don't know if it's a hallucination or not. Um, these hallucinations do seem to be legit. Like we know there are supernatural elements, but if some random person came up to me and told me like I'm having dreams where my torso is carbon dioxide and my leg is cadmium, I'd be like, go go see a psych and get checked out. Um, September 9. By the lake. Daytime. Feels like summer. There are 6 of me here, but 2 of them are wearing robes? Bathrobes? Choir robes? I think that says choir? Yeah, that says choir. There's someone else. Just a voice. I think I know them. They tell me I'm alright. You're okay. You're safe. No matter where I am, I'll take care of you. They are speaking every language I've ever heard at the same time. You are loved, child. You are needed. I hear red-winged blackbirds. This is a common kind of bird in the Midwest. I live in the upper Midwest. I hear these birds as bird calls like all the time. They've got a very distinctive bird call. Um Voice tells me not to be afraid. I'm supposed to take the call. They want to speak to me. My toes are in the lake and it's cold, but feels great. I'm supposed to be here. Fingers turn to carbon. Creepy. Hate that. Make it diamond instead. I do. It's easy. I want to know who called me. They need my help. I want to help. I step farther into the lake. Walk all the way in. Water over my head. It's fine. Wake up standing in the middle of the street. 3 a.m. So this is probably Lake Michigan, if this is also taking place in Chicago. Because Chicago's right on the coast of Lake Michigan. Yeah, that tracks Netzach. Um, the nine also have lore from Rite of the Nine, where they're turning different parts of the emissary into like different elements. So this makes sense that it's the Nine doing stuff to Lodi prior to calling him to the future to become the next emissary. Oh, this is the same dream still. I'm not afraid, but I'm certain the world ended. How do I know? Run back in. Call Ben to check. He yells at me for waking the baby. Feel bad. Going to try to sleep. September 10th. Haven't slept that great in years. September 11th. No events. Perfect sleep. September 12th. No events. Luke? September 13th. No events. Canceled doctor's appointment. September 14th. I thought this was done with. Woke up on the roof looking up. Climbed down the fire escape. Heard radio fax go off in the closet. Timing worrisome, confusing. It didn't wake me up on the roof. It came on when I stepped back through the window. I didn't want to open the closet door. Could hear it printing. Turn on all the lights before I opened the door to check. Message is alarming. I think I already know I needed to be there. How did I know? Heading to office. To do. Reschedule doctor's appointment. Call Mr. Barbsick regarding window bars. So this seems to be like as soon as this person makes a doctor's appointment to try to like figure out what's going on, the dreams stop. And as soon as they cancel it and they know that they're not going to tell a doctor about it, the dreams start again, which is very manipulative. Okay, so this next page is back on official letterhead. Department of External Observations. Office of Signals. Unknown. Oh, and also, I've never heard of the technology of radio fax, but it seems like an old-timey, like, office-y thing. So this is like data from the Office of Signals. Gliese 1061 EMR. Large data has reported a repeating pattern of EMR pulses from Gliese 1061. Begin analysis. Proxima Centauri radio frequency. Reception has flagged a spike in radio signal intensity from the vicinity of Centauri. Analysis ongoing. Dr. Farrell to present evidence supporting broad-spectrum distress signal. 3. 61 Virginis photonic abnormality. Reception has flagged abnormal flickering in the visible light of 61 Virginis. Visibility has been briefed and will implement obfuscation protocols. Determine likelihood of communication attempt. 4. Unidentified celestial body X0192. Urgent. X0192 imaging received. Object is spherical. Abnormally regular. Reception reports uptick in radio signal intensity in surrounding systems. Deciphering signals in vicinity first priority. Cosmos Sophie reports that object is moving towards Sol system. Estimated arrival 50 to 60 years. So I'm guessing that this object is supposed to be the Traveler. And it's traveling towards Sol. and sending out like signals. That's kind of interesting. I always kind of had assumed that the traveler just kind of like teleported to Seoul, but if it made its way there, like just gradually and like a normal spaceship and could be like observed on the way, that's kind of interesting. Because I know that the traveler like teleported and disappeared between terraforming individual planets from the Ares 1 lore. So this is kind of interesting. And these other things are like real other star systems. So they're looking for signals of extraterrestrials. Lewis, I took Renata and the kids to the zoo last week. It's unreal how much bigger it is compared to that little place in Borobu we used to go to as kids. I think they had, what, one tiger? And at it was probably a bobcat with stripes painted on it. Lincoln Park's got that big city funding. Elephants continue to be Betty's favorite. In fact, she insisted on drawing one for you, pictured below. She's since informed us she'd like one for Christmas. I told her, Uncle Louie's on it. So this appears to be Ben, who is Lewis's brother, I think. Philip's become obsessed with watching that Japanese robot cartoon you showed him. And while we're asking Uncle Lewis and while we're asking Uncle Lewis for things, he's requested a comic book based on the show. If it exists, I know you'll find it. Benito is taking after his mother and becoming quite the artist despite his young age. His latest piece was in an experimental medium, the lunch he ingested not 20 minutes prior. Oh no, that's not good. Nanda was telling me how she wished she could grasp the freedom in his brushstrokes. I told her I'd happily get her a job of. Oh, I told her I'd happily get her a jar of pureed carrots, give her a little twist, and see what she comes up with. Anything to support the arts. I wanted to ask, have you had any more conversations with Ma about the house? It's getting colder, and I don't want her to shovel snow this year without either of us in town anymore. I'd prefer she was closer. You know how she is. She's lived in that town her entire life, and the idea of being far away from Pa is tough for her to think about. Give it another shot if you haven't already. She seems to listen to her Shotzi more than me. Benito's first birthday is the Sunday after next, and we're planning to throw a little party. Nanda's sending out invitations, so don't tell her I told you, but I wanted to make sure it was on your radar. I know work's kept you busy. It would mean a lot if you came. I promise. I won't give you any more grief about that girl from the Mirador. Te extraño, chaparrito, Ben. I don't know what that means, but I know it's Spanish. Um, and there's a little drawing of an elephant on here from probably from one of the kids. Oh, is that it? Yes, that is it. So this is the beginning again. So it seems like this is like Lewis Euro slash Lodi's papers, because it's got like a welcome packet for the DEO. It's got mysterious writing that I'm guessing some people have translated. It's got a like correspondence between Lodi and Dr. Davis, and then it's got like mysterious like files with like redacted info about some kind of incident with a like gravitational weapon, um and then also no conclusive link between the gravitational weapon and the evidence from JFK's assassination. And then we've got like Lodi Dream Journal stuff. And after the Dream Journal, we've got the signals. And then finally, we've got the letter from Lodi's brother Ben. So I'm guessing that community sleuths have gone through whatever this is and figured out what it means. But I am not a code breaker. It kind of reminds me of Arabic, so I don't know if it has anything to do with Arabic. But I'm probably just gonna look it up and see what other people have figured out about it, because I'm sure people have thoughts at this point. So it seems like this letter is like the whole JFK Graviton Lance thing. It seems like Graviton Lance is discovered at an incident that the DEO investigates on Dealey Plaza. And then after the incident, they review the evidence from the JFK assassination and they find no evidence connecting the two. So it's specifically that Graviton Lance was not used to assassinate JFK. Um, which I think that's kind of a more interesting thing than literally making it JFK. Um, because like having your like time traveling characters go and assassinate the president and be on the grassy knoll has happened in so many stories that like it's a cliche at this point. Um, but what this does do is place this in time. Also, the 50 to 60 years thing about the traveler places this in time. So Lodi is specifically from the 60s, which we could have like inferred based on how things looked and like the fashion in the like cutscenes. But this makes sense. So I think that is everything in the collector's edition. I am going to transition the scene to um screen sharing, and I'm going to go look and see what people have discovered about this like mysterious like secret message in some kind of other language that looks kind of like Arabic, but I don't know if it's Arabic because I don't speak Arabic. But it's very squiggly. So I am going to put this back in the document folder. Actually, before I do, I'm going to double check to see if there is anything in here. There is not anything. It's empty. And I keep the documents secure. And then I'm going to move this here and switch to showing my desktop. Okay. Actually, this is the scene. Oh yeah, this is the scene. I troubleshooted. I figured out how to make the audio work. I'm gonna pop out my chat here so I can still see it. JFK being an exotic in Renegades would be wild. That would really fit the Star Wars theme because Star Wars is really an allegory for assassinating JFK. Lee Harvey Oswald was part of the Rebel Alliance. Okay, so I am going to look up um okay, so it seems like people this is a transcript. People have solved it. I'm not going to like show someone else's YouTube video. Um but I will watch it after the stream. So this has this is a really high quality scan. Oh, okay, so this PDF that people made has shout out to honestly just vibin, Dobby Rams, and U/404 error code. Oh yeah, I also wanted to look up the green line. Polask. This appears to be something in Poland. Adams/Wabasha. Yes, so it's a station in Chicago. So yeah, this looks to be a real station. So we can find out roughly where Lodi lived and roughly where um the offices of the DEO are. So they're right by the Arts of Chicago. The Art Institute of Chicago. And then there was also I think it was Dealey Plaza was the other location. Yep. Mm-hmm. I think one of these buildings is the Texas Schoolbook Depository, which is where Lee Harvey Oswald supposedly shot and assassinated JFK from. So that does confirm that they're talking about Dallas and where JFK was assassinated. And I think, yeah, there's a JFK memorial. I think the grassy knoll is in here somewhere too. Yeah, so this is the Texas School Book Depository. This is Dealey Plaza. I don't know where the grassy knoll is, but I would presume it's in here somewhere, or... Oh, it's literally right here. The grassy knoll. Um, yeah, so the thing is, like, they're investigating the incident at Dealey Plaza, which is JFK's assassination. And comparing it to... Where was the other incident? Did it say? Yeah, it doesn't necessarily say where this incident happened, where they presumably found, like, graviton lance stuff, but it's specifically not connected to JFK's assassination. But I am going to read the transcription of this. Thank you to the community for doing it. I do not know how I would solve this, but I think some people have breakdowns. I think I saw Scaro had a video about it. So this mysterious document says, now some of you have come here imagining that we lock up Bigfoot and disguise Greys at the Paradise Ranch. We do not, and not only because we have no credible evidence of either. The work that we do here is both less exciting and far, far more important. Let me be very clear. There is non-human life in this universe, and when we make contact, we will meet that not with raised weapons, but with open arms. Of course, should we be threatened, we will muster all of our strength in self-defense. But we will not. We will never fire the first shot. This department was founded not to wage war or imprison that which we do not yet understand, but to welcome our galactic neighbors as friends we may learn from, allies we may rely on, and most importantly, fellow beings navigating this vast and beautiful universe. The cosmos can be dark and cold and lonely. We need not make it more so. So this was translated with help from these people. So it seems to be stuff about... Oh, it's Pittman shorthand. I do not know what Pittman shorthand is. It's a system of phonetic shorthand developed by Sir Isaac Pittman. Oh, okay. So it's literally just like a kind of shorthand. So that must have been not that hard to translate, because it's not actually another language like I assumed. It's just like a shorthand version of English. Big shout out to the people who translated it, though. Beryl Pratt, Reed, Shorthand, and others. And then I also wanted to look up some of the departments. I think it was Cosmophony? Cosmosophy. I'm really struggling to say that word. The belief... Oh, a body of belief or theory about the cosmos. So, it is a real word. Cosmosophy. And then I also wanted to look up pangeometry. It's a book. It's a memory of his work on non-Euclidean geometry. Hyperbolic geometry. I see. So I don't know why they have a whole department about non-Euclidean geometry, but maybe it has something to do with their like time travel, the way that they're time traveling. And also it could be like a general relativity thing because general relativity is also non-Euclidean geometry. It's slightly different. I am going to go back through chat and find... I know someone was asking me questions that I didn't answer during the stream. What do I think the mechanics will be in the raid? Time, gravity, vex, and the 9 also sounds kind of interesting. I don't know how you would make that into like a mechanic that you can do during combat, though. Like, time would maybe have to be like something like Simon Says, or like gravity. They do have banes that manipulate gravity. There's that new one. I have no idea what the raid mechanics are gonna be. I am wondering though if Matter Spark, Matter Morph, and the Relocator Cannon are gonna be in the raid. Like, if not as part of raid mechanics for like the jumping puzzle and traversal sections, I could see them integrating that. Because I know in Vow of the Disciple they didn't do anything with Deep Sight, but I feel like the destination abilities for Kepler are a little bit more dynamic. So I think it would be kind of cool if they integrated them into the raid. But I know some people don't like them, so I don't know how well that would go over. Yeah, I could definitely see JFK's assassination being 9 BS that's required to like create their perfect timeline for their agenda. Um Oh, the temporal trains being the green line. That makes a lot of sense with Lodi. Like connecting it to Lodi. That's a good idea. It makes sense. So I think I'm going to end stream because I've pretty thoroughly covered this lore here. And that is it. So thank you everyone for watching. I hope you found this interesting.